Tonight, the road toll still rising as another young life is taken in a terrifying crash. Locals unite to spare a thought for the men and women who died in war. Fire destroys a high-performance sports sedan as the owner looks on.
And it'll remain unsettled tomorrow, but will the sunshine return in time for the weekend? Details shortly.
This is Prime7 News at 6 with Freya Cole.
Good evening. Police have arrested 2 women in Wellington who were found with prohibited drugs and stolen possessions. The arrest followed tip-offs from local residents. Evie, police say it's proof that the Wellington Dob in a Dealer campaign is working.
Freya, thanks to tip-offs from members of the local community, police were able to search 2 properties in Wellington. They confiscated drugs, but cash and jewellery as well, which they believe were stolen. Both women, one a 52-year-old and the other 48, were found with the drugs, ice and cannabis. The 52-year-old woman faced Dubbo local court today. She was released but was fined $600. The other will face Wellington local court in January.
One of the women was certainly on the radar of police, and the information given to us was enough to get us across the line to obtain a search warrant. So the community's got right behind this program. They've finally said enough's enough, and they're going to do something about it.
And they are. Police say prior to the program starting, they were only receiving 2 to 3 reports a week. They are now receiving up to 8 per day. A real statement that this program is working for police. Freya?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Evie Madden there in Dubbo. 2 fatal crashes in 2 days in the Orange region have left emergency services reeling. For paramedics, RFS volunteers, local police and the families of those involved, it's been a truly terrible couple of days. And while the road toll rises alarmingly, police say they're doing everything they can to make sure drivers take care. Smaller communities also gathered today to honour the sacrifice made by our soldiers. The village of Molong came together to knit hundreds of poppies to say thanks in their own special way.
It took months of hard work to get all of this ready. These bright red poppies were delivered from the hard work of this small community coming together to remember.
Evie Madden, Prime7 News.
Here's Madeleine Collion now with today's weather. And what was it like around the region today, Maddie?
Thanks, Freya. It was quite a nice spring day around our region today. For the most part, we had clear sunny skies. Later this afternoon, we did start to see a little bit of cloud creeping in. That cloud cover should produce some rain over the next couple of days. How much? Well, I'll let you know later on in the forecast. But let's zoom in now and take a look at what happened with temperatures across our region today. And for most areas further south, it was a little bit warmer than what we had yesterday. And we did see some really warm overnight lows. Forbes and Parkes only dropping down to 18 degrees last night. Orange made it to 21 degrees today. Yesterday, Orange only made it to 19 degrees, so a little bit warmer there. Cobar had another hot day, 34. Condobolin atop of 30 after a low of 19. Over to the dam levels now, and Burrendong Dam is sitting at 19%. Just how much rain are we expecting over the next couple of days? Your forecast is coming up, Freya.
Thanks, Maddie. Have our politicians lost touch with regional Australia? We'll check that out next. And a young boy keeps the camera rolling while under attack by magpies.
And at 6:30, a young surfer in a coma and a beach closed after a shark attack at Ballina. The Royals joined thousands in Canberra, pausing to mark Remembrance Day. And the fiery plane crash that's killed all 9 people on board in the United States. All those stories and more. Join us live at 6:30.
If you thought the magpie swooping season was over, you couldn't be more wrong. If you've ever been swooped, you'll know it can be terrifying, as it was for young Jack Gunning from Bathurst, who sent us this video of a very close encounter with a cranky magpie. The bird is seen to follow the cyclist at Eglinton Park before circling above his head. It then swoops down with an aggressive strike from behind. Jack says he managed to escape unhurt by ducking and pedalling fast. The birds are defensive during breeding season. With a close call like this, it's enough to warn your children to look up and duck for cover. Our politicians at Canberra's Parliament House are often criticised for being out of touch with the land. And many pollies agree. That's why they organised a farmers market where produce from your area made the trip to Capitol Hill. An Indigenous footy star signs up for a new job. That's coming up next, and we'll check in with the new Mr. Australia bodybuilding champ in Parks. The best amateur bodybuilder in Australia is none other than Parks gym owner Mark Wilden. Mark put his body through torture to get in the perfect shape, but it was all worth it in the end. This was the 23rd running of the event. Stay with us, or your local weather is up next.
Hello again, lovely to see you. Now, as we push through the next 24 to 48 hours, there is a very good chance that we will see some decent rain, particularly further south in our region. And there's also the chance of thunderstorm activity, and it's all thanks to this trough that's lurking around New South Wales as we speak. Now, zooming in and taking a look at what's happening on the forecast for tomorrow, we could see anywhere between 5 and 20 millimetres of rain for places like Parks, Orange, Cowra, Young, Oberon, Bathurst and up into Lithgow as well. Much the same story for Mudgee, but a bit further north, well, we're only expecting to see between 1 and 5 millimetres of rain for Coonamble and Coonabarabran. Cobar, they'll be lucky to see a storm out there, 35 degrees at this stage. We're only expecting to see up to 5 millimetres of rain. What you're looking at here is the expected rainfall over the next 4 days, and most of New South Wales is expecting to see at least some rain, but this yellow colour here represents less than 10 millimetres of rain. So for the most part, it is going to be just a few millimetres here and there. The heaviest falls are expected into the southeast corner of New South Wales. Here's the forecast for Saturday. In Orange, a top of 20 on the way. We could see another 20 millimetres of rain in Orange on Saturday. Mudgee 23, Lithgow 18 and Bathurst a top temp of 22. Sunrise tomorrow morning is expected at 10 minutes to 6. And onto the forecast now as we head through the rest of the weekend. On Sunday, the chance of rain drops right off. Top of 20 on the way for Orange. It should be fine as we head into next week. Freya?
Thanks, Maddie. And that's the local news for now. You can discuss tonight's stories on Facebook and see tonight's bulletin online. Just search YouTube for Prime7 News Central West. Now, Prime7 News at 6:30 with Daniel Gibson.